What's going on, everyone? Henry Kaminski here with another Brand Doctor podcast episode for you guys. Today, I have another amazing guest. This guest has been a client of Unique Designs now for like 3-4 years now, and watching this man evolve and watching his businesses evolve has been just incredible. And every time I see this guy, he's waving up another one of those 2 comma club, hit the $1 million mark with his businesses, plaques that Russell Brunson hands out. And, I said, dude, I got to have you on the show because more people need to know about ProFit Marketing Solutions and what Tim Lyons is all about. So let's dive in. Tim, what is going on, my man?
Henry, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Dude, every time I get together with you, it's a blast. With Tim Lyons Sr. is always in the mix. Yeah. And Randy, you built quite a team around you, and those are all great people. And, it's like how you get ahead in life is who you surround yourself with. And I'm a firm believer in that. And you've pushed me in ways that I don't think you ever realized, because I haven't really did the man-to-man with you. But man, I tell you, you've been a huge inspiration for me, just watching you grow, man. I remember when you came to me and you were like, dude, can you make me a funnel? And now you're just like, oh my God, you just exploded. So for those that don't know who Tim Lyons is and ProFit Marketing Solutions, give us the background. Well, let's take it way back. Like, I want to know how you got into this game to begin with.
Yeah, the game you're speaking of is digital marketing, but that's not where it all kind of starts, right? So I'm not gonna go super far back, but I'll take it back to when I opened my first gym in 2009. That's kind of when I got into this fitness industry, a brick and mortar business, just starting out, 29 years old, trying to figure it all out. And, I like fitness at the time, and, hey, fitness seems to be pretty simple. Let's just open a gym, right? And, within 3 months in that business, I was ready to close the doors. It was an absolute catastrophe. I was doing everything wrong. I thought I was going down the right path, and totally, slapped me in the face a couple times. But the thing about me is I'm quick to make a pivot and change and run as hard as I can. I feel like if there's one thing that I do, and maybe it's a negative, but I'll make a decision and I'll run as hard as I can, even if it's in the wrong way. I don't sit on things too long, but, open the gym. And for those of you who don't know, like in the fitness business, you only have about a 3 to 5 mile radius around your facility where you're going to draw your audience from. People don't typically drive 20 minutes to come train at a facility. They're going to go to the most convenient place to them. And so I found it difficult to kind of market. And so I just went headfirst into marketing. I was the marketer, the salesperson, the janitor. I was training clients. I was there at 5 a.m. to open. I was closing the doors at 8, 9 at night, saying bye to the last client. So I kind of grinded that out, and I thought that was kind of like the path for a while. Grew the business to where I was able to expand in 2015 into a much bigger facility, still serving the same community. I'm only a block and a half away. So it kind of grew my little audience there, and, grew a team. And you mentioned a team before, and we're talking about the marketing side a second ago. The team is really what is elevated me, right? I've surrounded myself with smarter people, smarter trainers, just better, more intelligent people than I am. And that was the first thing that triggered me. I was the one doing everything, and I started letting go of some stuff, and it allowed me to grow. So that being said, long story short, I'll cut straight to the chase. I started marketing. I found funnels. I started driving in traffic for my own facility. And the fact that I'm in these little mastermind groups with other gym owners, I started just kind of sharing, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. It's working great. You guys should do it yourself. Here's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm just sharing with everybody, never knowing what was going to come of it. I wasn't even planning on building a business around it, but sure enough, my buddy Frank in Boston and Whitney in Pennsylvania, and then Rod down in Florida, and all these guys were like, hey, will you just do that for me? Show me what you're doing, but I don't really want to learn it. I'm a trainer dude and girl, and I just don't want to mess with that stuff. Can you do it for me? And I said, sure, I'll do it for free. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'll just try it. And like a rocket, like in Boston, he was getting clients like blowing the doors off his gym. People were lining up to come out. Pennsylvania, Whitney, one of our earliest clients, she had great success. Rod, same thing. And it just a light bulb went off and said, wow, this is working really well, the marketing stuff. And, let me just go ahead and run with this full time or part time, because I was still running the gym. And it kind of blossomed in what it is today. And we're, like you said in the beginning, in the intro, two Combo Club awards, and just helping gym owners grow. And the coolest thing for me is I'm just helping people like myself. I'm the gym owner, myself, and I'm just helping people like myself. And it really just feels good. It feels good to I know what it's like to struggle a little bit, and just helping those folks, and they're helping other people. It's a great feeling. So that's really how it started. I know that, it wasn't all the details, but that's really how it all kind of came to be. I wasn't like you, Henry, where I've been doing graphic design and doing marketing for years and years and years. I kind of just fell into it by chance and then just ran with it as hard as I could.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of stuff here that I want to unpack that you said that I think is tremendous value to the audience and listeners and viewers. One of the things is you said, when I run in a direction, I run full sprint, even if it's in the wrong direction. And even if it's in the wrong direction, once you find out, it's like, pump the brakes, and you make a quick pivot and you move. 90% of the people that fail are the ones that hit that brick wall going 80 and are like, I'm done. Like, that was a wallop and a half, and I don't want to ever feel that again. And it's like, it's the folks that pick themselves back up, find another direction, and head out again. And, I really admire that about you, because that's why you're here. And the other folks that are trying to do what you do aren't. And so for those that are listening, make that quick pivot, because that is the key to winning in entrepreneurship and in business, is finding what it is that you're doing wrong quick and changing it and making a move and going. The other thing that I want to shed some major light on is how you came to market. And so you found marketing funnels like I found marketing funnels. We found listen, marketing funnels has been around for years and decades, but ClickFunnels has just sort of touched ground and made it very easy for people to create and build marketing funnels. So when you and I both found that platform, we were like, the light bulb went off. And I love what you said. You did it for free. You didn't even know what the hell you were doing. You did it it started working for you, and you said, listen, guys, this is what I'm doing. And they reached out to you. So the market was screaming for help.
Yes. And
you said, listen, man, I'll help. I don't know what I'm doing, but like, I'll help you and we'll see what happens. Very modest, very humble. And you started exploding their businesses, and then boom, ProFit Market Solutions was born. And to this day, I love that name, because I only see profit. Like, I don't call it ProFit. It's like profit. And I just love the spin on words. And from a branding perspective, I think it's genius. So let's talk about branding real quick and how you've developed the ProFit Marketing Solutions brand over the past couple of years, and how it's created such a voice in the fitness industry.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, the ProFit, there's a lot of companies that are called Fit Pro, like Fit Pro this, Fit Pro that, and we just kind of looked at that and like, ProFit sounds right, and the fact that it just made the word profit, that just really, made a lot of sense. And you're gonna hate me for this, because you're big into design and everything, but Randy, our PM, he put this logo together in a matter of a couple minutes. Like, he threw some words on a thing and it worked, and like, all right, do we bold the pro and go with and it just worked. And it's like, sometimes it hits, right? Sometimes we had some crazy stupid names early in the game. Funnelboys.com, like all these crazy stupid words that like didn't make sense. My wife was like, "What are you guys thinking?" You know, just in my shot. She's 4'11" and slapping me around, and
I love it. Yeah. Funnel Boys. You never told me about that one.
Yeah, Funnel Boy. We were just cracking up, making up names like this will be funnelboys.com, and we might still have that URL. I don't know. You know, GoDaddy. You just get all these URLs. You have a crazy idea in the middle of the night. You
$150 worth of URLs that we're never going to use.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it happened, and 100% the fact that I'm in the fitness business. I already have alliances with really, top names in this industry. It just allowed me to slingshot the business. My name was pushed out there by guys that respect me, I respect, and I'm starting to do some speaking now in this little circuit that the fitness circuit. It's just a good family. Once hate to say this, but you can burn some bridges real fast in this business, and if you screw people over, it's over. It is over. But vice versa, if you really help people, gosh, your name spreads like wildfire. And that's really how it happened for us. It was 16 straight months of not one penny spent on our own marketing, 100% word of mouth, 7 figures, all based on referrals. And it was amazing. I was like, what? We're not even marketing it ourselves. And we never even got around to marketing ourselves until 16 months into this business, which is crazy to think. But hell, it worked. And, now obviously we're spending quite a bit of money on marketing because this competition's like crazy, right?
Well,
we still have.
Yeah. People are starting to sprout up all over the place. And, I was from a branding perspective, from a design perspective, you being a Designs on Demand client from the first 1.0, 3 years ago, I said to myself, I need to help ProFit really stand out from because it's cutthroat. And so I have regular team meetings with my team, and every time you submit a project, we're like, again, guys, this is a very cutthroat market. If we're not creating design identity for them that is going to cut through that like a hot blade on butter, we're not doing them a service. And so I've that's why you've been around for 3 years, is I feel like we've really made you the subject matter expert, and we have that, and we're designing your identity to have that perception. And it's very, very important. The other thing that I like what you said was your brand reputation and how the word of mouth and the referral. I've known you a long time, Tim, and one of the things that really I like about you is that you're the real deal. You're going to share your insight. You're going to share your feelings, even if you're a little pissed, or even if like it's not working, or it's not doing what it is that you want it to do. Like you're very vocal with that. And I think your clients really admire that, because listen, you're like, I'm here to do a job. I want the best results for you because my name's tied to this. And right. I think that's how you were able to not market for 16 months, because you just did a freaking good job. Yeah. And I'll give you some kudos, because I remember throwing some ads out there that you saw, and you're like, dude, you called me right away. Like, hey man, you got to take that down. That doesn't look like you. Because we were trying to run fast. Like we said in the beginning, I was just trying to throw some stuff out there, get some things pumping. And you made me pull it down. You looked out for me because you knew more than, what people were seeing. It didn't jive with what we've already created. So, I mean, you were doing you were way better than that.
Yeah, right. There was some stuff. It was amateur stuff. Like, yeah, when we were marketing ourselves, not our clients, for them, we threw some stuff like we were going to do a webinar, but you know how it is. Got to get the webinar out. Got to get the ad. Let's go. And sure enough, I threw some stuff at him. You redid them for me. You didn't even charge me for that. So I appreciate that. That was just kind of one of those things you did one time.
Yeah.
And going back to the very, very beginning, like the fact that we run fast in a direction, the one thing that I feel that really is what limits people is the fact they don't make a decision. They sit on it and they analyze it perfection, action trumps perfection, right? Let's get moving. If it's a little wrong, let's tweak it on the way, but like, you just got to get moving. And so that's a huge takeaway from, if you don't get anything else, the listeners don't get anything else, just make a damn decision, right or wrong, go and stop sitting on your thumbs and let's make some things happen, action.
Listen, I'm a big fan of that, and I'm a big proponent of that. The way I get people going is I ask them, if you don't make the decision today, what is that going to cost you?
Sure.
Like, sometimes you just got to put the fire under their ass and say, listen, like, what are you going to do if this doesn't happen? And they look at me with this blank stare, and it's just like, either you're in or you're out. And when you start to back yourself up against the wall like that, you start to make decisions really, really quickly. I remember, when my business was struggling in 2013 and 14, and I hired Russell Brunson for the first time, that was a big chunk of change that I did not have. And I remember saying to myself, if I don't pull this trigger today, I am going to be stuck tomorrow still. And yeah. I remember when I pulled the trigger and I woke up the next day, we didn't get started yet. But there was this overwhelming feeling that came over me, like, I'm going to get the help I need. I am going to be better than I was yesterday. And that is a huge, I'm so glad that you brought this up, because my next question was, where do you see most business owners struggling? And I think it's this lack of clarity, this lack of vision, the fear of, going in the wrong direction, like you said. So, how besides the pivot, the quick pivot, what are some other ways that business owners could grow their businesses like you grew yours, without maybe feeling that punch?
Yeah. Here's the first thing I'd recommend is find a coach, find a mentor. It's the fastest way to success. You're going to shortcut somebody that's doing what you want to do already. It could be in the same niche, could be in a different niche. Obviously, if they're a competitor of yours, they're probably not going to want to help you too much. But yeah, you hired Russell, I hired Russell. We were in the inner circle together. I mean, just finding the people that are successful and paying them a lot of damn money, because without paying them a lot of money, you're not going to be invested in it either. So yeah, 25 grand for a year and doing it 2 years in a row. And then you did your $10,000 thing on top of that. And I hired Todd Brown. I went out, I met him at Funnel Hacking Live. I flew out to Florida. I paid him $12,000 for 8 hours of his time. And believe it or not, we came back so damn fired up, so excited. I took my Tim Sr. with me and Randy. We went out and sat in a Holiday Inn conference room, and it was him and a couple of guys from his team. We recorded the whole thing, whiteboards. It was nuts. 12 grand. Listen, I didn't, I was just starting out, but I knew that guy could help me, and I hired him, and we had the best campaign. Our next campaign for all of our clients was our best, most profitable campaign to date, because we implemented so many of the things that he told us in that deal. Sure enough. So, we made that 12 grand back times 15. I mean, it was crazy how much it paid off, but that's the first thing. Find the guys that are doing what you want to do, or you respect, or you trust. Obviously you don't want to pay some guy that's just charging you money, right? They've got to be doing something that you respect, and learn and do, and then take damn action, because you could sit there and hear it all and still not do anything. So take action with what they tell you. You sit in seminars where the guy on the stage is telling you, do this, then this, then this, then this, and 1% of the people actually do it, right? It's like crazy to me. Like, I'm the 1%. I always find a nugget and I run with that. So, two things: find experts, pay them a lot of money, and then take action on what they tell you to do. I think that's the fastest way to success, personally.
Yeah, I mean, if there was one thing that I could have done differently when I first started my business, was get that help up front. I mean, the first 8 years of my business, I was throwing shit against the wall. I never marketed. I was in my own head. I was a complete mess. I really was. I honest to God, there has to be several angels over my head to be able to make it through those times and still be here, because man, I must have made every mistake in the goddamn book. And, you know, and you want to talk about burning bridges and, you know, killing your reputation and, God, I can only imagine, you know, if that was today, what I wouldn't have a business. I just know it, you know? And so getting all that cleaned up by hiring coaches, you know, the second person I hired was a mindset coach, because I realized that, like, okay, now that I have the business sort of cleaned up a little bit, that business is not going to be any good if I'm filling it full of poison because of what I think in my head, you know? And I thought that people were always out to get me. People were always trying to take advantage of me. Nobody was ever going to come through with their word. You know, I had all these demons in my head, all this negativity in my head saying, you know, you better just do it this way. You better cut this off, or you better. And I was like, holy shit, no wonder why all this turnover is happening. All of this stuff is happening because look at the energy that you're putting out in the world. And not to get all woo-woo on everybody, but man, when you get your head right, that's when things really start to pick up and move forward. And so let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So mindset.
Okay.
Like, how do you, so here we're going to dive into Tim's head.
Sure.
Right?
You may not want to know what's in there.
I love it. So, you know, some of the mindset stuff that, how do you keep your head on straight when you're running a 7+ figure business? You have a team, you have not only this marketing company, but you have a brick and mortar gym that's doing over $1 million a year. Like, how do you, when you're having a bad day, not lash out on a staff member? How do you, like, I mean, you know, how do you, or member, right? Like, how do you keep yourself grounded is the question.
That's a great question. I will tell you this, if it wasn't for my wife, I'd probably be in jail. That's the first thing. I'd be in jail because I have a short fuse, and I would, you know, I'm obviously a lot older now than when I was in the beginning, and I would do some stupid shit. Like when I was in high school and college, like I was in fights, and it didn't matter. I mean, I'm kind of throw the weight around a little bit, but you know, she grounds me. When we get a bad review on Yelp, you know, for the gym, I want to just go drive over to that member's house and slap them around because they don't know what they're talking about, right in my head. But Erin will give me a nice response. I'll lob it out there, and usually it gets resolved, or I'll call the client. She'll tell me what to say. So that's the first thing. The other thing is, gosh, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I've gone down that path and snapped on somebody, and it never turns out right. It just never does. So take a half step back, really think about it, and take a deep breath. Sometimes go for a walk. Like if something's bad's going on, go for a walk. Sometimes I like to jump in my truck, crank out the country tunes or something, and just kind of cruise and get back in my head. But at the end of the day, this is the thing that I think sets me apart from a lot of different people. If we're going to get into my head, at the end of the day, if all of this just fell apart and I went bankrupt, okay, because it could at any given time, like some shit could happen. What they say, the 4 Ds: death, divorce, drugs, or distress, are like the 4 things that take down the ship. They could all happen at any given time. I would hope not, right? But I know personally, I have so much confidence in myself that I can build all this back up tomorrow. So I'm fearless. I go 100 miles an hour. If it's wrong, you know what? I can figure it out. You know, and not to sound cocky or anything, but like, you know, I was always top of the class. I was, you know, I got a full ride scholarship for football. You know, I've always been that guy, overachiever guy. And that just built the confidence up in me that, like, you know what? I could start over in a brand new niche tomorrow and figure it all out and be fine. So,
and that's one of the things that I want to shed some light on. It was funny because my mentor, he runs a multi-million-dollar branding agency. So he's like 10 chapters ahead of me. But when I found him, it was crazy. One of the videos, this is before I hired him, but one of the videos that he had mentioned, he said in the video, if if everything burned to the ground tomorrow, I would have the tenacity and the fearlessness to build it all over again. Yeah, and it's crazy. I've heard this several times now, even in a Rick Ross song. Like you want to laugh. I actually shed tears to a Rick Ross song one day. I was in one of those emotional moments, and you're all right, guys, don't laugh. But it was something emotional happened to me that day, and I forget exactly what it was, but I was just like a mental mess. And Rick Ross song comes on, and he said, if I lost everything and didn't have $1 tomorrow, as long as I had my heart, I would do it all over again. And that hit me. And that's why I love hip hop music, because it's very inspirational to me. I grew up around it and I grew up with it since I was 10 years old. So when I hear messages like that, they resonate. And I'll never forget, I just broke down. I was just like, Wah! And I was like, I remember wiping a tear off my face and going, did I just cry to a Rick Ross song? Like, that was why I think I was more concerned about that than what actually just happened. And it was funny. I was like, that's what it comes down to. It's the tenacity of being a business owner and just getting back up, watching those scars heal, because dude, you didn't get to where you are today, Tim, without any bumps or bruises. Right. And right. And so, and it's funny, you said you were talking about the Yelp review. Like, I had a guy attack me, a cyber attack me with all these bots, and wrote these negative reviews about me that I knew weren't true, but they came at me like dozens of them at a time. And I thought it was just such a vicious attack. And I was like, how do I handle this? Right. And I said to myself, first and foremost, the shit ain't true. Second of all, look for what it is. This guy's just a maniac. But don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Don't take anything personal. Don't take the positive personal. Don't take the negative personal, because it's not about you. Remember that. It's about them. Wherever that's coming from, it's about them. And just not taking it personal really helped me get over a lot of shit quick and continue on that road. And if there's one thing that I think another thing that people should take away from this episode is, you don't take it, you get back up and go. Yeah. Just get back up and go.
And it's hard. It's hard sometimes. You get blasted and blindsided like that, and it happens to all of us. You're gonna get down. You can't just not get down for a minute. It's okay. Surround yourself with support, right? And if it's the family, if it's other business partners, or if it's mentors or friends or whatever. If you're in sports, that means a lot, because you can always reach out to the guys that you play ball with, or even girls that that were there, playing ball with you and stuff, and just lean on them a little bit. And a lot of entrepreneurs are so damn strong-headed, they don't want to ask for help, kind of sometimes. But the few times that I do ask for help, and I say few, but it's more than few, I always come out positive. And it just lets somebody, not to get too deep, let somebody else from a different set of eyeballs looking at the same situation as you. You're in it. You see oh my God, they're coming at me, attacks. And, I'm sure your wife or Vicky or whatever, she just probably squared you up on it. Look, this guy, he isn't normal, whatever it is.
Listen, that's funny. You said your wife before keeps you grounded. I mean, my wife is my rock, for crying out loud. And she gives that outside perspective that is not one-sided, which I really admire. Just because she's my wife, she doesn't necessarily need to take my side, but most of the time she does. But when there's times that I am wrong, I'm freaking human, she'll say, well, what'd you learn from this? Right. And she really puts that perspective into things. And like you said, I have 3 coaches in my life right now in certain very specific areas. And I remember when some shit hit the fan in January, I was that got me down, man. I'm not going to lie. And one of my coaches pulled me right the hell back up. It took about a month, but he yanked me by the back of my collar, virtually. And was enough, man. that's gone. That's history. Look at the time that you lost. And he just started pounding me. And I was like, Tom, what would I do? What would I do without that right now? That message was so strong, and it just was like, and that next week, believe it or not, $20,000 week.
Yeah. Best week ever, right?
Best week ever.
It's crazy.
So
I know. So we if we've learned anything today is coaching, mentors, leaning on people, support systems, because entrepreneurs are on a damn island. You're on your own. Like I feel like sometimes I'm floating down this ocean by myself because I'm the one making the decisions and everything's on my shoulders. But it's not. It's not. You got people that really, respect you and want to help. Just reach out. Screw it.
And so there's so that's your takeaways, and my takeaways are very similar. But some of the things that you mentioned earlier, I think, from a business growth standpoint, is get out there and find that niche that you can crush it in, which you found. And I love what you said. I'm just helping other people that are like me, right? And you let the market decide what it is that you were going to sell, and you did it for free. You showed a result. You were actually really good at it. And then you were like, okay, I'm not going to give away this whole thing for free because there's a lot of value in this. That's where your business mind and business sense kicked in and said, okay, what are we going to start pricing this at? And then as you got better and bigger and bolder and you started providing more results, that's when the prices start to go up. And, I look at my business, and all of you guys should, even you, Tim, should look at your businesses like vintage wine.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
As your business grows and evolves and continues to grow strong, it's going to get more valuable. And I think people are undervaluing themselves and undervaluing their business. I talked to a guy yesterday on Instagram. He's been in business 10 years and he's charging like $300 for a service. And I'm going, I would pay $4,000 for that experience and that value. You're charging $300, and sometimes it takes somebody like me to say, "Boom!" What are you doing? Like, there's a lot of value there, but allowing the market to determine what it is, and I love the route that you took. You're just super humble. You're super straightforward, and you stayed in your lane, and you showed that you could do it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
People are like, "How do I get more followers? How do I do this? How do I do that?" Like, that's the wrong questions to be asking. The real question is, what the hell are you good at? Would people be willing to pay you for it? Mm-hmm. And are you showing people that you are competent and that you are, I would trust you to pay you to do this for me.
Sure.
Right. Sure. And so you've done all of the above, and there's no reason why those two plaques, that doesn't surprise me that those two plaques are behind you. Yeah. For those that are listening to the podcast, he's got the two comma club. He's got two of them awards sitting behind him. And, it goes to show that hard work does pay off when you build a solid, reputable brand and you treat people with respect and you treat people as human beings and you go above and beyond and over deliver. That's why you don't have to that's why you didn't have to market. And that's how word spread nationwide about you, because you're all over the nation. You're not local.
No,
you're global now, dude.
Global, yeah, global.
Yeah, so it's crazy how you just grew by just being true to yourself. I shouldn't say it's crazy. It's no surprise how you grew and how you and the strength that you've grown over the past couple of years of just being around you, dude. So big props, man.
Appreciate it, man. It's a fun ride, and to be honest with you, I think these little plaques right here are just like. They mean so much because so many people are striving to get that, and it just kind of it just happened. Not that I was focused. I think I won that first one before they were even out. Like, they were just rolling those out anyway, and so now it's like the goal. Like, you hit one of those every year, or even the bigger one. There's bigger ones now, so it's like it feels good because typically as a business owner, you don't get a little awards like this. So like. Props to Russell for putting that out there, because that's just like something, to strive for. It's like the trophy game.
Right. And those are the things that we need to do in business, is find those little celebratory moments, right? And get out there and award yourself. Like, even without those awards, right? Like, You know, say you're just starting out, like say you made that one sales call that and you didn't even close it. You just got the balls to pick up the phone and call that person, right? Mm-hmm. Go celebrate that, but celebrate that at the level for what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe just go and grab a bite that you wouldn't have normally bought, right? Or, you know, just treat yourself. And then you'll see what happens. That motivates you to do bigger things. And then eventually you land that $10,000, $15,000 deal and you're like, you know what? I'm going to take $500 and buy a pair of shoes. I'm going to do, and don't forget to reward yourself, because it's only going to give you the fire to continue to move forward. So real quick, for those folks out there that are in the fitness space and are looking to get help with their marketing and grow their brands and their businesses, how can they find you?
Well, a couple places. Obviously, our website, pfmarketingsolutions.com, would be a good place to start. You could always email me direct, tim@pfmarketingsolutions.com. I read pretty much all 1,000 emails I get every day. 999 of them are from Facebook notifications for ad accounts that we're running. But I'll find your email in there. That's a good way to do it. Or, you know, Facebook, Tim Lyons Jr. is kind of my profile. So
awesome, man.
Reach out, send me a message if you need help. I started doing this a little bit more in kind of the forums and groups that I'm in, and just, I want to give. It's weird. You talk about this, giving, and then all of a sudden you start pouring back in. I just start giving. You're like, I don't even care anymore. I used to be like, keep stuff close to the chest. I don't want anybody taking my trade secrets. It goes back to that 1% of the people actually going to do something with it. So I'm just happy to help. Look, just reach out, ping me on Facebook. I'm always on it because we run our business from there. And just, you know, let me know how you're doing. And I'm happy to help you.
Well, that's awesome, man. And I love how inviting you are. He's a big dude, guys. For those of you guys that are listening on the podcast, this guy's a monster. When I sit next to him, I look like Danny DeVito. But the funny part is that he is a gentle giant. And, you know, he's got your best interest in mind. And that's why I think we've been clients. You know, he's been a client of mine for years, and I've been just funneling him people and funneling just good vibes to him constantly, because he's just a good egg and he knows a lot about the business. So why not work with somebody that is doing what you're doing, but just doing it a little bit better? You know, that's, like he said before, that's how you're going to win. So that's about it, guys. So real quick, let me wrap up. If you haven't subscribed to this podcast yet, please do so. If you haven't shared it with a friend or a colleague, I invite you to do that. I appreciate that. Thank you in advance for that. If you get a second, if you like what you're hearing, if you can write a written review on iTunes, that would be so appreciative. If it wasn't for you guys, this podcast would not exist, and I will continue to bring you as much heat and value as I possibly can from amazing guests like Tim Lyons from ProFit Marketing Solutions. So I'm signing off. Have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next episode.